There is a question that most of us have asked at some point in our lives, usually in the middle of a moment that feels impossible to survive. Why is this happening to me? Why this obstacle? Why this setback? Why this particular stone placed on this particular path at this particular time? We look at the thing blocking us, the loss, the failure, the closed door, the person who said no, the dream that won't move forward, no matter how hard we push, and we call it our problem, our bad luck, our unfair burden. But what if the stone in your path is not your enemy? What if the very thing you have been fighting against, exhausting yourself against, crying about in the dark is quietly, invisibly, without your knowledge building you into someone who can never be broken? This is the story of a seed that discovered that truth. Not easily, not quickly, but in the only way that truth like this can ever really be learned, through years of struggle in the dark, alone with no one watching. In the middle of a vast desert, where the sand stretched in every direction as far as the eye could reach, and the sun fell on everything without mercy, a small date seed lay buried beneath the surface. It was an unremarkable seed in an unforgiving place. Above it, the desert sky was white with heat. Around it, the dry sand offered nothing soft or gentle or encouraging, and directly on top of it, pressing down with all its weight, was a heavy stone. But inside that seed, in the way that life insists on existing even in the most inhospitable places, there was a spark, quiet, patient, persistent. The seed wanted what all living things want: to rise, to reach toward the light, to feel wind moving through its leaves, to grow into whatever it was capable of becoming. And so, when the time felt right, it gathered what little strength it had and pushed upward. The stone did not move. The seed rested, gathered itself again, and pushed harder. The stone did not move. It tried again, and again, and again, each time meeting the same cold, indifferent weight, each time failing to move it even a fraction. And in the exhaustion that followed all that trying, the seed did what any living thing does when it has given everything it has and found it isn't enough. It despaired. My fate is so cruel, it thought, in the wordless language of growing things. I am trapped. The path above me is sealed. I will never see the sky. I will never become what I was meant to be. The desert was quiet around it. The stone sat heavy and unmoved above it, and the seed lay still in the dark, tired, discouraged, and completely alone. Then something shifted. A wind moved through the desert. Not the harsh, scorching wind that strips and scours, but a different kind. Soft, almost gentle. It moved across the surface of the sand with a sound like a whisper. And somehow, in the way that the right words sometimes find you at exactly the right moment, it reached the seed. Do not complain, it seemed to say. Look downward. The seed was confused. Downward? Everything the seed had ever known about growing pointed upward. Light was above. Sky was above. Life was above. What could possibly be found by going down deeper into the dark? But it had nothing left to lose. It had tried the only direction it knew until it had no strength remaining. And so, in the stillness of its exhaustion, it considered the whisper. And slowly, the way understanding comes, not all at once, but in layers. Like light through sand, something shifted in the seed's thinking. If the path above is sealed, it thought, perhaps there is a path below. From that day forward, the seed changed direction. Instead of spending its energy pushing against the immovable weight above, it turned its effort downward. Slowly, quietly, without announcement, it began to grow roots down through the dry sand. Down through the hard, compacted layers that had never been touched by anything soft. Down into the darkness that no light reached. It was not easy. The soil resisted. The ground was dry and unyielding. Some days the seed made almost no progress at all, and on those days the doubt came back. Am I trying for nothing? Is there anything down here worth reaching? Will this ever lead anywhere? But every time the doubt rose up, something else rose with it. The memory of the wind, the echo of that soft and certain voice. Do not complain. Look downward, and the seed continued. Days passed, then weeks, then months, then years. From the surface of the desert, nothing had changed. A stone, sand, silence. No one passing by would have seen anything alive. No one would have guessed that beneath that ordinary, heavy, unremarkable stone, something extraordinary was happening. Something was growing that had no name yet. Something was building that had no form yet. A journey was unfolding in complete darkness that would one day change everything, but not yet. Not yet. After years of patient, unseen effort, the roots finally reached a depth the seed had never known existed. And there, far beneath the scorching surface, hidden from the heat and the stone and the impossibility above water, cool, clean hidden water that had been there all along, waiting for something willing to go deep enough to find it. The moment the roots touched that water, everything the seed had suffered suddenly made a different kind of sense. All those months of pushing downward into dry, resistant darkness had not been punishment. They had been preparation. The roots were not just long now, they were strong, anchored deep in the earth in a way that would have been impossible if the stone had simply moved the first time the seed had asked. Now, fed by deep water, held by deep roots, strengthened by years of invisible struggle, the seed began to grow upward again. The stone was still there, still heavy, still unmoved, still sitting exactly where it had always been. But as the shoot pressed carefully, patiently upward, searching along the edge of the stone with the quiet persistence of something that has already survived the worst, it found what it was looking for. A small opening, just a crack, just a narrow gap between stone and sand where the light came through in the thinnest possible thread. Small, but enough. And through that narrow space, slowly, tenderly, without hurry, the shoot emerged. It felt the sun for the first time. It felt air moving around it. It reached upward toward the sky it had dreamed of for years, and it was no longer the weak, desperate thing that had pushed helplessly against the stone in those early days. Its stem was straight and strong. Its roots were deep and certain. It carried in every fiber of itself the strength of everything it had been through the years in the dark. The failed attempts, the redirected effort, the patient searching the water finally found. Time passed. The shoot grew. The plant grew, and then the tree grew tall and powerful and unmistakable, rising out of the desert like something that was always supposed to be there. Its branches reached wide toward the open sky. Its roots held the earth with a grip that nothing above ground could shake, because nothing above ground had built them. The darkness had built them. The stone had built them. The years of going deeper when going higher was impossible had built them. Then one day, the desert did what deserts do. A sandstorm arrived, violent, roaring, filling the sky with a darkness made of wind and sand and fury. It tore through everything in its path. Small plants that had grown easily in places where nothing blocked them, where the sun was generous and the soil was soft and welcoming, were ripped from the ground and scattered like they had never existed. But the date palm, the tree that had grown from the buried seed beneath the heavy stone, stood in the storm and did not fall. It bent. The wind moved through it and it bent, showing the storm the flexibility that only real strength allows. But it did not break. It did not uproot. It did not surrender, because its roots were deeper than the storm could reach. And those roots were deep for one reason, and one reason only. The stone, the obstacle, the immovable, frustrating, seemingly cruel stone that had once made the seed cry out in despair, was the same stone that had forced the roots to go so far down that nothing could ever pull the tree up. Again, the greatest problem had become the greatest protection. Most of us are somewhere in the middle of that story right now. We are the seed, and we are pushing against a stone that will not move no matter how hard we try. A stone that sits on top of our dreams and our plans and our best efforts and refuses to budge. And we do what the seed did. We despair. We call it unfair. We ask why this is happening to us. We wonder if we are simply unlucky, simply not meant for the sky, simply destined to stay underground forever. But what if the stone is not your punishment? What if the stone is your teacher? What if the obstacle you cannot push through is quietly redirecting you? Deeper into patience, deeper into wisdom, deeper into a strength that you could never have built on an easy path. The seed that grows without resistance stays near the surface. Its roots are shallow because they never had to search. Its strength is untested because it was never seriously tested. And when the Storm comes, and the storm always comes. It has nothing deep enough to hold onto. But the seed that was forced downward, that spent years in the dark building, what no one could see becomes the tree that bends in the storm and does not break. The next time you find yourself pushing against something immovable, a closed door, a failed plan, a dream that refuses to move forward no matter how hard you try, before you decide, it means you're not meant for it. Consider the other direction. Consider going deeper, into the work no one sees, into the growth that doesn't look like growth yet, into the patience that feels like giving up but is actually the most powerful thing you can do, because what blocks your path above may be what protects your roots below.